Alright, so I'm going to show you how to quickly go through the course and all the different elements and how you're supposed to complete them. So real quick, just go ahead and start your timer. It'll start counting down from 20. Of course, that doesn't mean you want to fill that whole time. You want to go as quickly as you can. Now, one thing I want to say is when you're editing all of the different elements here, whether it's walls, pyramids, ramps, you can edit them however you want. You can either do a door, you can do just a corner, however you want to do it, whichever you're most comfortable with, and you can do the quickest is perfectly fine. Same with pyramids. You do one side, both sides, floors. Now, one thing you want to see is there's a bunch of targets that you're going to be shooting throughout the course. You don't have to shoot them, but when you do, you get points for them. So you want to get the points so that it adds up to your end score, just like your time does. So the faster your time, the better your score will be. The more targets you shoot, the better your score will be too. Also, by shooting the targets, you'll want to shoot you can just shoot the targets in general, but if you shoot the bullseye on them, then it's added points. Now, this is a 90s room. You're just going to be doing 90s all the way up to the top, but one thing I want to note is there are targets all around the room. Now, of course, you could just do 90s all the way to the top, but that wouldn't be just like in a normal game, which is exactly what we're trying to simulate with this course. Is just like a normal game. You want to go through, and you're not just going to be able to do 90s without anybody contesting that. So watch out for those targets. Make sure you shoot them down as you're going through, or if you want to just go straight up with your 90s as quickly as you can, that's fine too. It's your choice. Right here is you need a pyramid block the traps that are up on the ceiling. Obviously, if you just walk straight through, traps are going to kill you, but if you do a pyramid and then do a corner up or two sides up, then it'll stop the trap from killing you. This is a waterfall room. Waterfall is basically where you turn around and you do walls all the way down, and then you catch yourself with a pyramid, or you can catch yourself with the floor. And you do this all the way down. One thing I want to note though is if you land on one of the red blocks, then you are going to it'll reset. You'll die. But one thing I also want to note is that unlike other courses, you aren't going to start all the way at the very beginning. You'll actually just start at the top of that waterfall. Some courses will make you start all the way over, but this one you'll just respawn at the beginning of that element. Okay, in this one you'll notice the different furniture. You want to go through and you want to reset the wall. And then you edit the opposite side that the furniture is on. Again, make sure you're shooting all the different targets as you go through if you can. It's all about time and the points. So points are also accumulated by shooting the targets. This is the turtle up room. This you have to be very, very careful because there are going to be bots that are going to shoot at you, but they do shoot on sight. So as long as you keep yourself covered, they will stop shooting you. So as you're going through, just make sure you turtle up and then quickly edit through your own build before they start shooting at you, because if you take too long, you'll get lasered. Now again, just like the waterfall room, if you do die, then you're just going to start right back at the beginning of that element, so you don't have to start all the way over again. This next part is pretty hard for a lot of people. I actually struggle with it sometimes myself too. But it's the jump and floor. So this is really helpful when you're doing build battle fights where you have been blocked, or maybe you've blocked yourself or someone else has blocked you. You want to jump up out of this ramp and place a floor. Now there are also some shots that you want to take here. So jump through and then place the floor. Now I know that this part you're probably going to be tempted to cheat and do a ramp and then just climb up, but just so you know that doesn't count for your end score. So you can go through this course however you'd like, but if you'd like to compete for the leaderboard, then you do need to do the jump and floor in order for that to count. And just go through the builds as quickly as you can and as efficiently as you can, shooting targets along the way. This room, you're gonna have your feet turned to ice. I like to stop myself a little bit on that corner, just a little bit, so I'm not going through too quickly. And then you want to go through and you just want to shoot as many targets as you can. You don't have to shoot every single target, but the more you get, the more points that you're going to have. I also want to note that your guns will auto reload, so you don't have to worry about sitting and reloading them as you're running through the whole course. And you can use whichever weapon you're most comfortable with for each of the different elements. This is the pyramid climb, where you just have to pick a corner or do like a ramp with the pyramid, go up it, reset it, and then do it again. Okay, this room's actually pretty difficult for a lot of people. This is the ramp build and block. So again, you've got bots and they will shoot on sight. So the goal here is to make sure you keep yourself covered with pyramids as you're ramp rushing. So there are some parts where you'll have to build your own ramp, and then just make sure, like I mentioned before, you're doing pyramids as often and as frequently as possible, because that will help to keep yourself from getting shots. And there are also targets. Again, you don't have to shoot them, but the more that you shoot, then the more points you'll get. Faster you go in this room, the more likely you're going to be able to make it through, okay? But just like every other one, if you get shot down and you have to respawn, you'll just respawn at the bottom of the ramp. You won't have to start all the way over again. There are so many different ways to edit these, so like I mentioned before, just do the ones that you like, but just go through it as quickly as you can. And really this is just to make it so that you can practice and know that they're all different. I noticed with some other courses, it'll just have the same kind of thing over and over and over and over again. Like for instance, it'll just have you edit ramps over and over and over again, which I think is good because you could practice like the movement of it. But I think it's better to kind of have to practice all the different ways and have it constantly changing, because it forces you to get used to. I mean, in a real game, you're not going to sit and just edit the same thing over and over again. It's going to constantly be changing. Okay, so this little hallway here, you need to edit a window, shoot the target, and then reset the build. So make sure you go through, edit, reset. Okay, this is ramp floor wall. It's pretty basic. You just want to run up this ramp as quickly as you can by doing ramps, floors, and walls. These are to make you practice if you've got an opponent that's below you and they're hiding, but you've been able to replace their walls or replace their ceilings and their builds, then you can edit down, quickly shoot them, and get some advantage on them. So that's just to practice that. This is kind of the same concept, but without the pyramids. Just going through and editing builds that are your own build, and then trying to shoot the targets that are on the other side. The end is nigh. You're close to the end of the whole course. Then you just jump on the pad, and that's your time score. Now, again, it's not just the time that you're going for, it's your time, negative time in seconds, plus your points, which I'll show you here in a second, will equal your score. And then if you want to submit your score, then you need to record a video of you going through the course, show the time, show your points, and then go and submit it at swhatsanonymous.com/edit course. And there you can also see other people and how well they've done for their course as well. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense, and I hope that you have fun and enjoy this so that you can continue to build your skills to get better at Fortnite.